Hello, everyone. It is Brenda here for Stamplicity, and welcome to What's Up Wednesday. All right, so I mentioned that I was going to do this evening, and we are going to explore the brand new Elizabeth Craft Planner Essentials die that just came out this week, part of the new collection. And this is the box envelope, and this die really intrigues me. So I thought, you know what better way of exploring it than by doing it this evening. So really, I don't have much planned with this. We're just going to explore. I did a lot of die cutting of stuff, and we're going to put this together and see how it works out. My intention is to show you how to use it on a card, as well as on a layout, and then I figure Michelle will show all her samples next week using this die as well. And that's going to be all her journal pages and all that. So I'm not even going to tackle a journal page because that's her specialty. So welcome everyone that's joining me live. I see the eyeballs are growing. You're finding me. Hopefully my sound is okay. Pop in the comments that you're here and sound is good, so I know. And then we will get started. So, like I said, we are going to explore this box envelope die. All right. So this is part of the new collection. It's part of their planner essentials dies. However, it's not specifically just for planners and journals. You're going to be able to use it in other applications. There's no planner page in this one. It is a standalone die. And then you get all this goodness in there as well. And there's a whole lot. Thank you. Thank you, ladies, for letting me know. I changed something on the back end on my video here. And so that's why I wanted to really double check because the way that I am seeing my screen now is a little bit different from normal times. So I wanted to make sure all was good. Thank you. So it's got the box envelope die, but it's got all this other goodness there. Little tags, little tabs, um, tags. It's got a layering piece here. It's got these great little arrows here that are kind of like paper clips. I'm going to be showing you them. They've got little flags here with words on there. So it is a jam-packed die. All right. So we're going to explore it tonight and see how it goes. All right. So my first question when Michelle got this was, does it hold an ATC? Because I thought, oh, that'd be awesome for you ATC people. But it is not. The base of it, it's too small. All right, so it will not hold ATC. So then my next question was, will it fit a gift card? Because that would be perfect. Now, I do have a gift card here, and I'm not sure if you can see the lines here, but the gift card is ever like it is probably 1/32 of an inch, a little bit too wide. However, I'm going to see if I can make it fit with stretching the paper. So that's my goal tonight because that is a game changer if we can fit a gift card in here. Okay, so this is the die. This is the box envelope. It is available now. I took the liberty of doing die cutting ahead of time so that you didn't have to watch me die cut. So this die here, this large die that you see, that is the actual die for the box envelope. It will cut the outer edge and it will score all the other elements on here where it will be folded and where it will kind of fold in and lay flat. So there is this. All right. So I've already die cut this. Now the papers I'm using is just whatever I had here at home, which is not a whole lot. So I have a little bit of the Flower Emporium from Vicki Boutin, and I love to pair it up with this collection, which I know is kind of, I've already cut through this, but this is from the last release from Elizabeth Crafts. This is called Colorful Collective, and I love this one. Bright colors. It's just a summer, but it really goes well with the Flower Emporium from Vicki Boutin. So I'm going to be using elements from both. All right. So we're going to start with a card and see how it goes here. So I just went through papers and kind of grabbed stuff that kind of worked together. So we're doing oranges and pinks. Surprise, surprise. It seems like I always do orange, pink, yellows. I like that color combination. It was just an accident tonight because I really wanted to use I really like this pattern. That's all. There's that I really like this one. So anyways, so this is the box card envelope when you die cut it. All right. So you can see cut out nicely. And then you can see all the score lines on there. All right. Now, it looks like a lot of score lines and it looks complicated, but really it's not. All right. So when you lay your die down, you want to lie it on the pattern that you want showing on the outside of your box envelope. And then whatever's on the flip side will be the inside. All right. So you got to pick which one that you want. All right. Once you have that done, what you're going to do is you're going to flip it over and then you're going to do kind of all the straight um, scores. And I do recommend having a bone folder. You're really going to crisp up those edges or folds nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and do all the straight folds, and I'm going to just fold them into the box envelope. All right, so there is that one, and then we have two horizontal ones. We have that one, and then we have this one. All right, so easy peasy. All right, those are just simple folds. All right, and you can see that it's going to start developing into a box already. All right, but we have excess here. Now I'm going to flip this over, and now we have diagonal lines. All right, so hopefully the camera is picking up. Yep. All right, I see them on the camera. So we got diagonal lines, score lines here, and we got diagonal score lines here. All right, so honestly, I'm just going to take the corner and kind of just pinch it together. Just push it in and it will automatically kind of bend in. All right. So you're going to just bend that in. So you're going to do that with all four corners. All right. And I'll use my bone folder in a second. Same with this one here. So all four corners, you're going to do that. All right, so now you can see we've got this lovely box. All right, we'll hear it in a second, but there is our box. All right, but this box is supposed to be an envelope. All right, so it's supposed to lay flat. So we have score lines on either side, the short side, and again, you are going to push them in. Now this is kind of the tricky part. So I just kind of work with that little corner here and kind of push it in. So when you kind of open it up, it's going to be like mimic a letter M. All right. Do you see that there? All right. So I'm going to do this one as well. And then this one here. All right. And if I open it up, we see the letter M. Okay. Okay, so there's our box envelope. When this, well, now we will adhere it, but when this does, it will close into, look at this cute little envelope. Like, isn't it sweet? All right, I'm gonna do some inking of the edges. This Elizabeth craft paper. It's not like incredibly thick, but it's got a good weight to it. So we're gonna ink those because we've got a little bit of the white innards showing here. But there is a box envelope. So now let's adhere this together. Um, and I do recommend probably double-sided tape. However, I'm going to use liquid glue because I ran out of my adhesive runner. So um, you can use liquid glue. It's just if you're an over gluer, you may glue something shut that you don't want to. So that's all I'm going to say. So I'm going to open this back up. And what we're going to do is on the first two little pieces here, that little valley, we're going to glue that shut. And this is why if you had double-sided adhesive, it's going to stick. So now you just have to wait for my glue to dry. All right, and then that's my first two, and I'm going to come back to this. I'm just going to let that glue really set. And then you're going to do the bottom two the same way. All right. So again, if you had double-sided adhesive, it would be a much better and easy tack down. But all right. So I'm just going to look at comments. So hopefully, Michelle, I'll answer all your questions on this thing. All right, so we have our little corners now glued together. All right, now it's going to resemble more of a box. But I don't like these little guys just sticking out in the open. So now I'm just going to glue them down to, or adhere them down to the sides of the box on the long side. All right. Now, this is my first time ever making this box, and I'm sure when Els does her live and her design team, they may show you a different way. This is just the way that I'm doing it, and it will all work. But how cute is that little box now? All right, okay. So there's our little box, and it will close up nicely. Now this is where I'm going to take my bone folder and just crisp up everything and make sure everything is down. And now when you open this up, a little box will pop out. All right. So I think I have the gluing all together. All right. So there we go. Little box envelope. How cute is it? Right? Super, super cute. All right. Now I want to show you. Everything's tacked down nicely. I want to show you now with that gift card. All right. If you put it at an angle, it will go in. But remember, this will lay flat. So it's just ever so slightly a little too large. But I'm thinking that I probably should not have adhered it together, but I could have stretched the paper a little bit. I have to play around with this. I'm going to make this work, but not right now because I don't want to wreck my little box because it's super cute. Okay, so now that we have our little box envelope, what can we do with it? Well, it depends on what application you're using. When we do the layout after this little card I'm going to do, I'm going to use this because we all know we take all those extra pictures for layouts. And I have a little cute little printer that does 2x3 pictures. And this would be a perfect way to store those little extra pictures on a layout. Some of those pictures I never want to display because I'm like, oh, they're not pretty enough or whatever. But they're still capturing the moment of the event that we're showcasing on the layout. And I like to have those little candid shots as well. So this would be a great way to store them. So that's how we're going to use it on the layout. Now, for on a card, I mean, you can use it as a decorative purpose. You can have fun little stuff in there. I think this would be great for a little girl's card, and put little stickers or something in there, kids cards. I mean, it's just anything that's going to lay flat in here, it's going to hold, which will be really, really cool. All right. So let's make a card with this now, using this. Now I am going to grab, I'm going to grab some ink because I want to ink the edges on this. And I need to grab, I think I'm going to grab my picked raspberry. Ink. Just because we're using, well, that or Right Persimmon. I changed my mind, I think. Okay. So I'm just going to use my finger dauber to ink the edges. And you don't need to do this. It's just my paper cracked on the edges when I was doing this. So this camouflages it nicely. So I'm just going to go ahead and just ink all my folded edges. And now I won't see any white little bits and bobs here. That's just the nature of sometimes pattern paper. It will do that. Even if it's been scored and you've used a bone folder, sometimes it does crack. All right. So I'm going to go in and just kind of ink all the edges because even when you cut it with the paper trimmer, you'll still get that kind of little white edge. So I'm just going to just ink everything. All right. So now I'm happy. There's my little inked up little envelope now. Okay. So let's go ahead and make a card with this now. So this is going to be kind of my card front, and maybe I'll ink this one as well. Might as well be consistent. So this will fit on A2 card. So I just cut a panel that is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. All right. And this paper is from the Elizabeth Crafts Colorful Collective. In case you are wondering. All right, so there is inked up. Then I thought I would pair it with some pink because I just love that color combination. So this is from the Flower Emporium from Vicky Booten, from her 6x8. So I'm just going to cut a panel that is 3 1/4 by 5, 3 1/4 by 5. And I'm going to ink this as well. Sorry if I'm shaking the camera. Oh, smart idea, Sherry. Sherry is saying she would trim the gift card as long as there was not a magnetic strip. Huh. I should try that. I'll try it with one from the store and see if it works. Because I think most of them have magnetic strips, though. I just have a supply of gift cards on my desk here. But yeah, wouldn't I? But interesting. I wonder if you just trim that 32nd of an inch off of it, if it would affect it. Because that's a game changer. If you can fit a gift card on in there, I think that would be just awesome. Could you punch a small hole in the long sides and close it with a small ribbon? Definitely. What a great idea, Teresa. Yes, that would be cute as well. It would be super cute. Now there's closures in this whole die. And I cut them out, but then I realized I don't have twine here. But these little guys here, you can put one here with a little wrap twine wrap, and then that would be a closure as well. You could use magnets for it as well. That would be kind of cool. I think there's lots of different applications. You just have to use a little bit of imagination. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and mount this on here. I'm working with a big pattern and a small pattern. Let's hope it all works out. You know, I got home and I'm just like, okay, what paper I'm going to use? I'm like, I have nothing here, but I wasn't going back to the store. True story. So I'm working with what I have. And Tamara, it was nice to see you too. Yeah, I'm going to talk, not that I will have any impact on it, but I will talk to Els. I'll see her next month. And I'm going to talk to her and say why. Now, well, I kind of know why. The die itself is 6 inches, so it just fits on your cutting plates for your die cut machine. But I would have just moved, as an engineer or designer, I would have moved these lines just over a smidget so that you could fit the gift card. I'm sure they have a good reasoning why it is the size of it. But I will suggest that to her. Not that it really matters. It's been already developed, but I will mention it to her. Okay, so there is our card front. And now I thought it'd be really cute to have this on there. And what I love about it is that you can use it both ways. All right, so it can go vertically. All right, and you can put it you can put it vertically and you can put it horizontally. So it's completely up to you how you want to put this. It's just really, really sweet. I just love it. So let's see what elements I have here. So like I said, I just went through my Flower Emporium, and honestly, this is the same pack I've been using for any samples I have done for the store, any samples I've done for What's Up Wednesday, because I've been pulling from this as well. This die cut, the ephemera and the chipboard just goes on and on from that. There's so much in there. I also have a couple of things here. This came from the Colorful Collective from Elizabeth Craft, that paper pack. There are like little 3x4s that you can trim out. Now for these ones here, all I did is I used these dies here to trim them out. And these will fit in the little box envelope too. So if you want to have little messages and such. That fits really nicely at the bottom as well. So you can have something really cool there. You can have little, inspirational quotes in here. I mean, there's so much that you could do with this, right? As long as it lays flat. All right. So again, use a little imagination of what you can put in there. So I think I'm going to leave that little, because that just fits so perfectly in there. I do want to ink the edges on this though. So, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and ink the edges of this. And I'm going to place this, I'm going to glue this in the bottom of there just to make it pretty. All right, so we've got this little vintage postcard again that came from the pattern paper from the Elizabeth Crafts Colorful Collective. And I just trimmed it out with the die from that box envelope. All right, so we're just going to glue this in the bottom. Stick it down there, and now we have a pretty bottom to our box envelope. All right, there we go. Super cute. All right. Now, what am I going to do here? Okay, we're just going to have some fun. I'm going to glue this down. I'm going to get it down, and then it's down, and I don't have to play around with it. And we will just, oh, you know what? I don't want to put adhesive right to the edge in case I want to tuck things under. All right, so I am going to put this at an angle on here. And then once it's down, I'm going to open it up and then really burnish it so it's on there well. We don't want this popping off. Okay. Okay, so now let's just go ahead and decorate it. I don't have a real closure for this. I did not plan it, but we're just going to go ahead and embellish now. All right. So the little embellishments, I have some chipboard embellishments from, like I said, the Flower Emporium. And then I also know and then I have the ephemera as well. So, but everything is from the Flower Emporium. I thought this would be cute on here. Right? Super sweet. All right. So let's do that. Guess that's the word for tonight. Super sweet. Keep on saying that. All right, so I'm going to pop dot my florals here. And this would turn out a lot better if I invested a little bit more time on it, but we're just going to go with it because I really do want to show you the layout too. Yes, money. Money's a good thing. People appreciate money. Money would fit in here. Definitely, Janice. That's why we do these. I love that you always have ideas. Money would work well. And again, you could put this in the inside of your card as well to keep that money in there so it doesn't fall out. I remember my nieces and nephews, when they would open birthday cards, they would open it up and the money would always spill out, right? So this would be lovely to have to put the money in as well. Okay, so we've got that little floral, and I have this live with gratitude little saying. It's a chipboard saying, so I'm going to attach that. Popping in that pop of pink here. And what else I got? I got birds. What is this? Good news. I got a butterfly. I think I want to use this butterfly though. All right, let's put a little three-dimensional butterfly on here. When I say three-dimensional, I'm going to glue its body only. And then I'm going to pop up its wings so it's got a three-dimensional look. All right, so there we go. Look how sweet that is. Do I have anything else? No, but what can we put in here? Let's put some hearts in there. And you can, like I said, you can put whatever you'd like in there. But how sweet is that? I'm wondering now if I want to put, I glued it too much now. But we could stick some elements there. It's a nice little sturdy little envelope, I will tell you that. I could play all night here. All right, I'm just going to fiddle faddle. I'm just going to put this away. Otherwise, I will be playing with it all night. But there's a cute little card. Again, money, anything that's going to lay flat in there. on the front. You could put in the back, but how cute is that? I mean, super sweet. There I go again. But very simple to do as a card. All right, so let's move on. Let's go to a layout now. It's been a while since I've done a layout for What's Up Wednesday. So, okay, let me just tidy up this little bit of a mess here. Oh, this is one of the little sentiment strips that are in the packaging. So you can see how they die cut. So super nice, right? So, okay. Let's move this out of the way. All right, and let's now use that little gift box envelope onto a layout now. So again, I'm working with what I have at home, and I have bits and pieces of the 49 Market Wanderlust. So we're going to do a travel inspired scrapbook layout. All right. So I've taken the liberty to cut some stuff out, die cut some stuff out. So that's my little pile here. But I have the epoxy stickers. I have the rub-ons. I have the laser cuts. I have the washi stickers. And then I have some 12 by 12 paper and some 8 by 8 paper. Honestly, we were doing samples for the store using this, and these are all the leftovers. So I'm just going to use what I have. All right. So let's do it. All right. So let's get our kind of our base page done here. I need to forgot to trim off the logo strip. So oh, hello, Margaret. It's cold here too. It's really, really cold. I'm not loving this weather we're having. It was rainy and damp today. It's not fun. It's supposed to be the end of May, almost the beginning of June. We should have nice weather, and it's supposed to be really cold at the end of this month. So they say. So we're right there with you, Margaret. I know you're probably even colder though. Okay, so I'm just gonna get a base down here. Oh, you still got snow up there. Yuck. Keep it. We don't want it. um, okay, so I'm just gonna get a base down and then I will start embellishing. All right. So I love doing one page layouts. That's just me. Usually I like to take one or two pictures of whatever I'm displaying in my on my layout, and take two really great pictures, but we always take more than we should, and sometimes it's really hard to decide what pictures to use. Sometimes we want to use them all, but we can't fit them all on a page. So I'm loving like this little pocket because I have a little uh, printer that prints 2 by 3 pictures. They're little and really cute. And this would be a great way to store them in there. You don't have to have them all displayed on your layout, but you can have a little piece and not have them all over your layout, but you can use them. They can still be there and you can still showcase them. And for whoever's looking at your layout, if they wanted to take it out of the sleeve and pop them open, those extra photos are there. And having those extra photos are always a good thing. There's nothing wrong with having extra photos. So okay, so I have the base paper 12 by 12, and I love this line because I love the fact that, they make it really simple. All right, you can see where you're going to put your pictures. I'm going to grab this kind of dark compass one, and I'm going to probably stick it there. And I think I'm going to trim this one out a little bit more than what it is, or trim it down a little bit. So I'm just going to grab my paper trimmer. Just going to take a little bit of the excess edge off. So let's do, all right, let's do 1/4 of an inch all the way around. This one I'm just kind of guesstimating because I can't measure 1/4 of an inch. Doesn't need to be perfect. Actually, I'm going to do a little bit more than 1/4 of an inch here. Okay. And maybe a little bit more. Okay. I've trimmed that down. And I think I'm going to rough it up a little bit. So I'm going to just grab my scissors because goodness knows where my paper distress tool is. Yeah, it's wacky weather. It's just like, I don't know what to say. It just needs to warm up. I don't like the cold at all. I am not one that enjoys winter. I will be one of those people that if and when I do retire, I will be living in Portugal for half the month or half the year. I think that's just my way of. I just do not like the cold. Um, I just want to be able to sit on my back deck and enjoy the sunshine, and it's not happening. Okay, so this is going to be kind of my base here. All right, that's good. I can probably trim this, but I'm not going to. I'm going to start gluing things down. If I overthink it, we'll be here all night. All right. So whenever I work on a layout that's going to have a bunch of layers and such, I always just kind of glue in the center of it, so this way I can tuck things in. All right. And honestly, if you're doing the same thing for cards as well, if there's a lot of layers, you are just going to glue the insides. This way you can tuck things in. All right. Now this paper has this kind of tattered, ripped edge here. I want to be able to see that. I want to have a little bit of that graph paper showing on this side as well. So I'm just going to kind of position it so that we get those elements, because it just looks like another layer. All right. This is what I love about 49 to Market, right? So, okay. So there is kind of my base. So this is going to house a 4x6 picture here. And I probably should just cut a mat. This way we have it. So let me just get one of my papers here and I'll cut a quick mat just for it to be, see if we have something that's a little bit, there we go. This will do. This paper will represent my picture. All right. So this will go right on there. Actually, you know what? I think I might make it a 4x5. We're cropping our picture. All right. Okay, so that is my picture. I don't have my photo stamp here, but that I'm going to put that at an angle. Okay. Photo. And then, all right, so then let's make our little box envelope. All right, so here is the die cut. I've done it out of this lovely postage paper. All right, so this will be the outside, and then the inside will have this lovely pattern. All right, so I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm starting to worry because 49 to Market paper is really, really thick. And let's see how this goes. All right, so again, we're going to do our vertical straight lines. All right. And I'm going to ink this because I know we're going to have some little crackage happening because this is such thick paper. So, and now I'm going to do the other vertical straight line. All right, so there's those, and then we're going to flip it and do the straight horizontal lines. And the other one. All right, so there is that. Now we're going to do the corners again. So again, I'm just going to kind of push in on the corners to push that diagonal line in. And we're going to do that with all four corners. Once you make one of these, it's really, really simple to do. It's always that initial one, right? Feels awkward. Okay, so there is that. And I'm wondering, I'm going to go ahead and glue them now. I'm gluing them now so it's not so awkward. All right, so, and now let's do the other one. All right. I won't glue them to the inside of the box yet. Let's do our diagonal. So again, I'm just going to kind of push that, and then now I can, it actually all comes together, right? You just have to start pushing it, and then that those little folds will happen. That went together much easier, I think. All right, so I'm just going to use my bone folder and crease that. All right, so there's our little box. Now all I'm going to do is just glue those little flaps down. All right, so do. Sorry guys, now I'm using glue. I'm using glue, so it just takes a little bit longer for it to tack down. So if you were using double-sided tape, this would go a lot quicker. You don't have to wait for the glue to set, but I want to make sure that that glue is grabbing and sticking. So you just have to watch me glue. Okay, so there's our little box, and it will close. How sweet is that? I'm going to just quickly ink it, the edges. This one didn't crack as bad as I thought it was going to be, so that is good. Okay, good enough. I'm saying good enough. Okay, let's bring back our layout now. So like I said, this is going to hold those lovely little 2x3 pictures that I have. So I think I want to kind of bring it down here, but it gives us a void up here. So on the 12x12, there was these little 4x4 or 4x3s. This one had a cute little picture frame. So I thought, oh, that would be cute to put in that area. So I'm just going to quickly fussy cut it out, ink the edges, and we'll use that as another photo mat for a little picture. So this layout here will hold a 4x6, a little picture here, and then a bunch of little ones in there. And I think I might rough this one up, only because I didn't use a paper trimmer, so I'm sure my cutting was not absolutely straight. So roughing up the edges will camouflage that, and then we're going to put a little bit more ink on there as well. And that's going to help camouflage any crooked cuts. All right, so we have our little picture frame there, and that will fill it out. The rest of the stuff we're going to use rub-ons and embellishments and such. All right, so before I tack those down, let's take a look at the rub-ons, add some background. I love using rub-ons. All right, so this one's got travel words in there. Then it will have more travel words. Then it's got some kind of modes of transportation. Oh, that one would look nice because we have that. And then what I call the background one. So we're going to use some of this background just to fill in some of the, you know, spots here and there. So I really like this ticket kind of collage. So I'm going to trim them out. So if you've never worked with rub-ons before, oh, they're just awesome. All right, so then once I have it trimmed out, then I'm going to pull the backing off of it. And now we're going to add wherever we want. So I'm going to bring this here on this kind of white space here. I've tucked it underneath, and this is what I mean about leaving the adhesive to the center, because now I can go ahead. Sorry, I'm really shaking the camera now. All right. And I'm just using my bone folder to rub that. And then when I take this off, I peel really slowly, because if it does not come off all the way, at least I can lay it down and do it again, rubbing. So it just adds another little element, some more texture. So I'm going to grab the other one that's similar. And this one here, I think I'm going to just trim in half. I'm going to take one half and I'm going to stick this under my photo mat here. And then the other one I'm going to stick on the underneath the photo mat here. Okay, so let me get those on. Okay, so we've got some rub-ons on there. I may go back and add more, but let's leave it as that, and let's continue on now. All right, let's go ahead and attach these on now. Do I want this? All right, we're going to put that straight. We're going to put this at an angle. So this one here, I'm going to pop up. So again, I'm going to concentrate those foam squares. All right, what is Ruby saying? Do you put the layout in a page protector these days? I believe so. A lot of my samples that I do are displays for the store, and then eventually they go into an album with page protectors. I know a lot of customers, and I don't even know, and someone can pipe in if they know that, but Creative Memories used to do, and I don't think they had page protectors. You just took the page and you put them on the page that was in the album, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if they still are like that. Are they still around? I can't remember. It's been so long. But yeah, no, I have albums that I slip them in afterwards, but usually they are samples for the store. So we just display them. Okay, so there is my little box envelope, and I had to glue it down. So I'm going to get that down, and then I'm going to open it up and burnish it. All right. I don't know if that's very straight there, but that's okay. All right, so there's my initial layout. All right, base layout. Now for the fun part of embellishing. All right, so we have epoxy stickers, and I'm going to get the laser cuts out. These things are always so jam-packed, full of goodness. And this is where the fun happens. What do we got here that's falling out? We've got a backpack and luggage. All right, I love this little chest here. I want to bring in some of the florals because there's lots of florals on here. And it looks like we didn't use many of the florals on our other samples. So let's go ahead and use some of these lovely florals. All right, so we're going to put one there, but I think I have the glue down a little too far. So I'm just going to use my tweezers. Okay, we're good now. All right, so I think we can kind of stick this in there. I think that will be good. And then there's another one that we can probably stick up here. Yep. Okay, let's do that. All right. Do-do. All right, so we're just adding to the floral elements that are on the top and bottom here. It's just giving it more dimension. And I'm just kind of tucking it and building it on top of the other layers of floral that's already on the paper. So okay, so there's that. Now let's see what other elements are in here. And train, plane, and automobiles. I think. Okay, so let's add some more floral there with that. And we've got the globe here. Sorry if you can't see what I'm doing. Okay, we'll put the globe there. I'm wondering, let's add this together here. The luggage and the there. That's going to create a nice little cluster. We've got a little passport here we'll put there. We've got a compass. We'll add that in there. I love the fact that there's a coffee cup here too. Let's put that over there. Then we have, you can see we've used quite a lot of these. Oh, this is a good one too that we can use. This one here has these little buckles as well, which I think are super cool. And they might be fun to use on here. So let's get 2 of them. And again, this will, oh, you know what? I want these as well. These little snaps. I got an idea for these. Where's the other buckle I wanted? Here. I don't want another backpack, I don't think. And all right. Let's do this one here with camera with the florals. And then we're going to use a bunch of florals and start layering them. We do need something as an accent on top of here, and I will get to that. But let's start adding some of these elements here. All right, so I know we don't have our picture down. Sorry, I need pop dots here. We don't have our picture, but when I go to put them my elements down, I just make sure I don't cover my picture mat. All right. I'm looking for my big pop dots. I'm running out of them, it seems. All right, does anyone know what I did with my backpack? Ah! Did it fall down? Well then, all right, we might just have to pivot because I don't know what I did with it. Anyone see it? No, no one has answered me yet. So, this is not the backpack. It was a bigger one. So give me a second, guys. Otherwise, we're just going to pivot from this and we'll just use something else. And I got to remember I have these die cuts here as well. Okay. Aha. I put it away with my foam squares. Okay. Carrying on here. All right, so again, concentrating my foam squares kind of in the center. All right, so this is going to go here. I want to make sure that I can still get my picture in there, and I can. So we're going to kind of push that right there because my foam squares are here, here, and here. So my picture's still going to slide in there. All right, then I'm going to grab my little chest here. And I'm going to put one of foam squares on the back of these florals. They're a little delicate, so. Okay, so then this is going to go here. And I'm going to put backings on these guys so that they don't stick, and I can put my picture behind there. All right, so there is my little chest there. And then we've got the little pieces here. Like I said, the passport, and I'm just going to put a foam square behind it. And we're just going to create now this little kind of grouping. And we've got the compass. All right, and now then I can kind of bring in more florals here. So I'm going to do that after. I'm going to get this cluster done here first. So we're going to, and again, I want to be able to put a picture in here. So I'm just going to put my foam squares kind of on the frame part. This way I can still slide in my picture when I have it cropped and trimmed down. Yeah, no, Ruby, that wasn't the one I was looking for. I was looking for this big one, but it fell in with my foam squares, my little package of foam squares. So, but thank you. Okay. And then let's put the camera over here. I won't go all the way embellishing this. I will get it mostly done. I'll probably put more of the florals off camera. And then of course I always take pictures and show you in the morning, right? So, but right now I just want to kind of get to the little pocket here and what we're going to do with that, because I do have some more elements to put in there. All right, well, let's put the little coffee cup here. Oops, take the backing off. It always helps. Okay, so you can see it's kind of developing lovely. I'm going to throw that in there. Okay, now this little guy here. So what I'm going to do is, and I don't have twine on me, but I just want to walk you through how I'm going to do this. So these little guys here are like little snap laser cuts. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a foam square behind each of them. One is going to go on the center of the kind of the flap, and then the other one is going to go right below it, but on the base of the box. All right, so I'm going to close it up, and then I'm going to kind of line them up. And then what I can do is take a little piece of twine and just kind of wrap it around, and that's going to keep it closed so it's not going to do this pop-up action. And I do not have twine. The only thing I have here is this lovely piece of, does not match, too shiny, but you'll get the effect of what I mean. At least I think you will. I think I can bend this. Horrible that I do not have any twine here. All right, so anyways, what you're going to do is you're going to kind of take your twine and then kind of do a figure 8 kind of style with it. This is like really not working, but you're going to get it. And if you do that a few times on there, then it will stay closed. And then it's still easy to, there's no knot, no nothing, but it's going to stay closed. This is totally not working here because of the nature of my ribbon here. As you can see, but you get the idea of what I mean. All right, so there is that. All right, now in the inside of this, we have that box. This is where I said you can put those extra pictures in there. You can probably stack a few in there, maybe 5 or 6, depending on how thick they are. But I also, what I did is created some photo mats using the die cuts from the die set. All right, that does the box envelope. I had two here. There's the other one. Okay, so what I did, let me just grab the die again. So what I did is these two dies here, these rectangle dies, I have the outside and then the inside one, and they mat together really nice. You can use them individually or you can mount them together. All right, so that's what I decided to do. I wanted to mount them together, so that's how they're going to look. But then there was these really cool kind of, they look like little arrow paper clips. So I was like, oh, how do they work? So I die cut one out, and then like, oh, those are really cool. So basically you can place it on. Now I place it on my base one, and it's going to give you this. This is what it die cuts out. All right, so it leaves the negative. And then you can take your overlay and glue them. And now you got this like little arrow clip on there, which I think is super, super cute. Here we go again, super cute. Oh, so I'm going to glue these together. And that's how I created this, all right, which I think is just really, really lovely. All right, so there is one. And again, I'm going to be able to fit a 2x3 picture on there nicely. So there's one. And then I did the same thing with this guy as well. So I used that and I put it, so you can have them up or down, completely up to you. This one looks like I did not die cut it straight. The arrow's going a little at an angle, but oh well. What happens when you rush? Maybe I didn't, maybe I should have taped it down. All right, so there are my two photo mats, all right? Lovely, lovely. Picture will go here, picture will go there. You could cut another one of these and put it on the back of this so that you can have double-sided pictures. And then these here, you know, we can tuck them in and look at, they fit in there so nicely, right? And then we have these lovely little photo mats in here with all those little extra photos, all right? So just a fun way to really kind of capture and hold more memories on a layout, and you know, all those lovely candid shots that we do. All right, so that is what you can do in there. I also, this is the tag that you can cut out there. All right, so there, this like die is just jam packed with just goodness, right? I love these little tags, and take a look at the tiny, tiny one. It's super, super nice. So again, you can use this here. I can, you know, tuck this. Maybe I'll tuck this. I don't know. Oh, maybe I don't. If it's this, I cut from the cover of the. Anyways, I'm gonna tuck it in here. All right. So there is that. And now, like I said, I'm gonna need twine to put it on here, and then we need something to go on here. So let's see. I think the backpack's a little too much. I don't like that there. Oh, you know what? I was going to do those little buckles. Where are those little buckles? So I think these would be really cute as well to put these buckles on. And then once we have the twine on there, it will hold it closed and it'll lay flat. So you only need to glue these little buckles on the top part here. One. And two. Gluey mess, but that's okay. All right, so that's going to go on there, and look how sweet that is. There we go again. All right. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else I can put on here. No. Okay, I will put more flowers in here. I want to go into the epoxy stickers now because these are just super fun. All right. So the epoxy stickers are shiny, kind of enamelly, and so they have some sheen to it, but it's just a great way to add a little bit of texture and shine. So I'm just going to add a few of these, and then I will call it a night, everyone. I will finish this off camera with all the extra florals, and then I will take pictures of it and display it tomorrow morning, so you can see the finished layout. And if there's anything else I'm going to do on the card, I will do that as well, and then we'll take pictures of it in the morning. The premise for this evening was really to show you how the box envelope kind of worked. I'm just going to stick that right in the camera, I think there. And I think it turned out really cool. I'm really loving, this little box envelope. I love the fact that you can just kind of throw some wonderful flat stuff in there. Um, Extra pictures. All right, I'm gonna just call it quits now. But I will go back now and add more of the florals and tuck them to make it a little bit more feminine. And then I'll get some twine on here tomorrow morning before I take the picture to show you. All right. So there is a quick and little layout with the little box envelope there to store those extra little candid photos, which I love. All right. So there is that. And then let me get my little card out for those that are just joining us. All right. So using that box envelope on a little card. Again, I think it'd be great. A kid's card would be really cute with this and putting stickers in there because kids love stickers, right? They really, really do. Oh, yes, Ruby. I love that. I used to do that for Josh all the time. He thought it was the corniest thing, but I would put little coupons and little messages in his lunchbox. And I think that would be really, really sweet as well. So great idea. I think there's lots of applications for this little box envelope. I really, really do. And I think the fact that you can use it for so many different paper crafting projects makes it a very versatile one. So cards, obviously, layouts, obviously, I showed you that tonight. And then I know Michelle's got some really great samples to show you in how to use it journals, because that's what it actually was developed for. But I think it's a strong die that kind of covers so many different types of paper crafting projects that it will be a go-to. So that is it for me, everyone. I'll take better pictures and post them on our Facebook page tomorrow morning so you can see the finished results. I do appreciate you joining me this evening. I see we had some new friends joining us this evening as well. So welcome. And to everyone that's watching the replay, thanks for watching. All right, everyone, have yourself a wonderful night. If you have any questions in regards to any of the products I used tonight and how they work, just let me know. Shoot me a message. We're here for you. All right, everyone, have yourself a wonderful night. Thanks for joining us for What's Up Wednesday. We'll see you again.